Is this very important at this particular juncture in our national life? What value would it add to us as a nation? I think that these questions need to be answered.
So it seeks to say that as people, as Nigerians, confronting a new, renewed hope, moving forward, tackling the rot, decay, dislocation, and distortions of the past, we should go back to our old national anthem, which gives us that energy, that sense of commitment, sense of dedication, and a desire to move Nigeria forward. I have taken time to look at both anthems, the old and the new. And as a Nigerian who's been involved in the struggle to make Nigeria a better place, either as a student in the student union movement, including putting in place the Ali Must Go movement, or as a university teacher, having been secretary, vice chairman, and chairman of ASU, or as a pro-democracy activist who spent 12 and a half years in self-exile, working with other colleagues, and active on Radio Kurirat and the Nadeco Alliance, including JACO, the Joint Action Committee on Nigeria, with very prominent Nigerians, including our current president and the Nobel laureate of this country, Wole Soyinka, and others. I believe that the old anthem encompasses, contains, and exudes the kind of energy, resourcefulness, and sense of vision that I believe is good for Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the old anthem not only begins by telling us of the pride to serve our nation, which is what we require right now when people are jabbering left, right, and center. But it goes on to assert the sovereignty of our motherland.
A Jackby English language.
It is now in the lexicon.
Okay, it's now in Google.
Yes.
In the lexicon.
Yes, Your Excellency. If you Google it, you will see it will come up.
Oh, Jackby, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it means Jackby means leaving the country.
Leaving the country.
That's a new one.
It also talked about the value of our flag.
I didn't know that professors use. So it's all right. Go ahead.
It talks about the value of our national flag, which people tend to take for granted. In fact, some nations have gone to war because people abused the national flag. It proceeds to talk about it as a symbol of what we represent as a people. Nigerians, people known all over the world. There's a video trending now which says that Nigerians are the new colonizers, and goes on to describe what we have done, intellectual sector, in IT, in music, in culture, in sports, you name it. And that we should all continue to join hands, though tribes and tongues may differ. In brotherhood we stand.
Honorable colleagues, I'm a Babao Chibok Dambo Goza Federal Constituency, and with the leave of the House, Acting Chief Whip on this sitting. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to commend Professor Julius Ihombere, the famous academician in this country, and at the same time the leader of this 10th Assembly, for bringing in the need for us to change the current way of doing things that is not yielding any positive result. It has been accepted widely, on one hand, scientifically proved to be positive, that if you keep on doing one thing without a result, it's an indication of lunacy, and it may not lead to success. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we are all aware that the national anthem we have been singing is not what we have been practicing as Nigerians. You say, arise, O compatriots. Are we patriots? Who are the compatriots? Are we patriotic? Do we normally place our national interest against our individual interest? All these questions are supposed to be answered in as much as this current national anthem is working. Secondly, to serve our fatherland with love strength, and faith, none of it happens. None. There is no love in the services we have been providing because our interest first before the interest of the nation. That is why people are even leaving the country to go and show love to other countries of the world, to show their strength, their capacity, their intellectual capacity, their educational pedigree to other countries of the world, thereby leaving Nigeria. And if you ask them, they will tell you they are holding Nigerian passport, they are Nigerians, and they are ready to put their love, strength, and faith in the country. How many of Nigerians have faith in the country? Go and assess. Most Nigerians have lost confidence, have lost faith in the country. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you that people are not happy on their faces. Thirdly, which is the last, the labor of our heroes past should not be in vain. Are they not in vain? My father is a retired Nigerian army. His own pension has not been paid promptly. And you are here telling people that their own effort, their own sacrifices should be taken into cognizance. Just payment of pension. You have not been doing that.
Evoke feelings of patriotism among citizenry and reminds them of their nation's glory, beauty, and rich heritage. So the question I will want to ask is, what does this old national anthem remind us of? What is the history behind the old national anthem that our brother, Honorable Professor, is asking us to adopt as our national anthem this morning? History dates back to colonialism.
That's echo.
And why did we go for a new national anthem? Because we wanted to lose ourselves from that colonial tie. And so the country set up a committee to look at the national anthem and a new national anthem amongst competitors which filed in their suggestions. 5 of them were picked and put together, and that gave us the national anthem that we have today, made by Nigerians, composed by Nigerians, and proper Nigerian national anthem. Let me also remind us that the old national anthem was authored by Lillian Jane Williams and composed by Francis Bender, both of them Briton. And after independence, we tried as much as possible to Nigerianize our actions. So, sir, today we are taking ourselves back to that old national anthem. Incidentally, I will even ask again, is this very important at this particular juncture in our national life? What value would it add to us as a nation? I think that these questions need to be answered. Nigerians are looking up to us for more fundamental issues that will cause proper change. Like Prof took us to history lane, that great men make history. What is the history that we are about to make? History that will change this country, or history that will take us backwards? There are several questions that are left unanswered.
Mr. Speaker, I want to concur with the minority leader that actually Nigerians are looking up to us regarding this bill. Because somebody, and many of my types, in our early 40s, I don't know how this national anthem even affect the well-being of the common man in Nigeria. Let's be realistic. How this one will support the government to stop either hunger, banditry, or improve insecurity. To us, let's do what is beneficial to the common man, and this honorable chamber is the only, for now, standing on a formidable force, a point for the common man of Nigeria. So Nigerians are looking up to us. I concur with the minority leader. Let's look up something that will bring a development in the eyes of the international community to Nigeria.